remembering today. Woohoo! All right, so just tapping our toes. I'm really thirsty today. All right, let's tap it out and in, out, in. So we're gonna do 45 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, 3 exercises. And we're gonna do that twice. Heels up, right, and left. So we have the option to use the step bench. It is not mandatory, okay? It's just, if you have one, it's a little extra. Heels to the front, we're gonna push. Shoulders are relaxed. Elbows are lower than your shoulders, so we don't want them out, we want them down. Side, side, we're going to reach across the body. 4, 3, 2, all right, toes to the back, and we're going to press back. I think about like I'm reaching for my heels, nice and long. And I'm still feeling our workout from like Tuesday. Knees up in front, add a little rotation. Yeah, whatever we did on Tuesday. We did our 5x5, I think. I'm feeling it. 4, 3, hamstring curls. We're gonna reach our hand to the heel on the same side. Doesn't matter if they touch. We're just turning our hips in just a little bit. All right, we're gonna squat. Down and up, really shallow. Check your foot position. Hip width apart or a little wider. Toes are forwards or just a little bit out. We're gonna start to add a reach overhead. It can be at an angle if that feels better. But I want you to think nice and tall, chest away from the thighs. 2, forward step and reach. Forward step and reach. And again, reach. Weight is in your heel, don't let it sneak into those toes. 2, adding our rotation, reach. Now I'm gonna change it a little bit today. Instead of staying tall, we're gonna fold, reach for the outside of the knee. But we are not bending over at our belly button. It's a little fold. Reach for the outside of the knee, outside of the calf. 4, 3, we're working on that hinge. 2, backward step, open and close at the chest. So we are stepping back, but our weight stays in that front leg. So we're starting to get into our reverse lunge. Let's take the arms overhead, up and down. If they're already getting a little tired, you're welcome to alternate. 4, 3, 2. All right, easy jog, or you can do high knee marching, whichever feels better. 4, 3, 2. All right, jumping jacks. Here we go. Low impact or high. Arms can stay low or they can reach overhead. 6, 5, 4, 3. Heel jogs or hamstring curls. Either one. We just want to get the backs of the legs woken up a little bit more. 4, 3, skaters. So side step, little reach to the front. You can add kayaking arms if you want to get your heart rate up a little more. All right, let's march it out. Good. So nice, good march. Grab a drink of water. So our first exercise, I would recommend, unless you're super comfortable with your balance today, starting with no weights, just focusing on the exercise. We're gonna do a reverse lunge to a knee up with an option to use the step bench. And then we're going to do bicep curls and a lateral raise. So, my lovely watery. All right, starting close to the bench. Option 1, reverse lunge right, knee up left. Reverse lunge right, knee up left. Option 2 with the bench. Reverse lunge right, step up onto the bench, knee up left. Take it down. Reverse lunge, step up. Yes? You have 45 seconds and your time is on. So same leg the whole time, reverse lunge and a knee up. Now that may mean you do a reverse lunge and you just step together and do a knee up. So this is your non-bench option. Same exercise, you just don't step up, or you can bring it up. Now if your balance is a little off, do the lunge, then do the step up. If your lunge is pretty good, you go directly from the lunge into your knee up. Down and up. Make sure that entire foot is getting up onto that bench. We want to make sure that we're not stepping up with our heel hanging off. That's how we slip off. Nice and tall. So good lunges. Good. We're going to shake it out and we're going to do the other side. So same thing. So now the left leg goes back, left leg back, right knee up. Left leg back, knee up. Your time is on. So left leg goes back, you step up onto the bench, knee up. So I do want you to think slow and steady. So this one, we're not in our step class. I want you to think as a strength exercise, because in the second round, if you're comfortable with it, you can hold on to weights while you do this. Again, it's not required. Pick your comfort level. This is something a little different. We want to make sure that you're safe, but adding in these little variations occasionally. 7 seconds, and we're going to grab one weight for a bicep, one weight for a side raise. Good. One weight bicep, one weight side weight, weight side raise. So I'm grabbing an 8 and a 5. If all you have is what you got, that's okay. So same side the entire time. One curl, one side raise. So the weight that's heavy is doing the bicep curl. The weight that's light is doing the side raise. If all you have is light weights, that's all right. Same pattern, same pattern. Now when we do our bicep curls, don't have your arm tucked into your tummy. Directly down by your side, so your elbow is directly under your shoulder. And again, we don't want to let it come up. Keep it close. We're going to do one side, then we're going to go back to our reverse lunges right now. And we'll do the other side, second round. I'm going to grab a weight. You do not have to. Good. So right leg back, left knee up. Right leg back into the lunge, left knee up. If you've got the bench, add in the bench. If your body just isn't liking the lunges today and you have a bench, just do the step up, and that's great. So nice, good reverse, nice, good step. Now when we do our step up, don't let this leg stay soft. Straighten it up. Good, let's switch. We're gonna do the other side. So now, left leg back, right knee up. And your time is on. So leg back, knee up, down, and up. So this is just adding extra. This is why you decide if you want risers. I know some of you have just little step stools that don't have a riser. So you're kind of stuck with what you got. But the higher it is, the more challenging this is going to be for those step ups. But think about the height of a normal set of stairs. 10 more seconds. A lot of my clients get step ups in their workouts. 2, and 1. Good. Bicep curl, side raise. But we're doing the other side. Yeah? Good. Time is on. Bicep curl, side raise. Now, if you want a little coordination or your heart rate is still kind of high, you can always do little marches. Or you can even do a little side step and a little side step. But this isn't mandatory. This is just if you want to keep your body moving a little. So good side raise, good curl. And again, good technique. Making sure we're not trying to fling that weight over our shoulder and we're not letting it pull us over. We're staying really tall. Good. Set it down. Grab a drink of water. Shake it out a little bit. All right. So the next one is going to depend on your step stool. I'm turning mine the short way, but if your step stool it has a longer side and a shorter side, I want you doing the longer side for those little step stools. Because what we're going to do, option 1, side step squat, middle, side, middle. Yes. If you have a bench and you have enough room for both feet to fit, side squat up, side squat up. Yes? All right. 3, 2, 1. Your time is on. So no bench. You're still doing your side stepping squats. If you have a bench and you're worried you're going to trip over your own feet because it's pretty tiny, then you can do this. Or you can even just do one side if you want to. Okay? Just remember you have to switch when we do the other side. Make sure both feet can fit, and we're not going to trip over our own feet as we do this. Again, doesn't have to be super huge. I don't expect you to step way over here. Step close to your bench. After this, we have rows right and rows left. Good. Grab a weight. We're going to do our rows. One foot forward, other foot back. If you've got a bench, feel free. Your time is on. We're just going to do a nice, good 45 seconds, slow and steady. So watch your position. Make sure. We sometimes tend to hunch over. We're like, my back is straight, but you look like you've got kind of a mountain or a hill going on. Lift that chest, nice and tall. So remember, we have an upper curve in our spine, and we have a lower curve. And you want those curves. You just don't want them to get really, really big, and you don't want them to completely disappear. So you curve out at the top and then in a little bit at the bottom. Good, we're gonna switch. Go to the other side. So foot can be down or it can be on that bench. Tall posture as we fold at the hips. Nice, good row. So again, we don't want to aim for the armpits, because watch what my shoulder does when I do that. When I aim for my armpits, I pop my shoulder forwards. You want to drive it back. So I aim, if I was standing up, my weight would come right between my ribs and my hips. So almost kind of in line, a little higher than my belly button. We want to get those nice, good back muscles, nice, good posture muscles. 8 more seconds, and we're going to go back to those wonderful squats. Hand on the thighs, support your upper body a little bit, helps out. Good. Set it down. Option. Add a weight if you want to. Yes, yes? Good. So I'm staying on the floor for a bit, but I'm adding a weight. This is an option if you want to do this. So down and up. So for those of you that maybe have the really narrow bench and we're doing one side at a time, just do the other side, right? Lots of options. So again, nice and tall, sitting into that chair, chest away from the thighs, tall posture. So we just don't want to bend forwards. I want to be able to see everybody's smiley, sweaty faces. Down and up. 2 and 1. Good. All right, rows. So 1 foot up. Nice and tall, fold at your hips like you're trying to squish a ball between your belly button and your thigh. Not your chest and your thigh, your belly button or your hip and your thigh. So imagine there was a ball right here. We fold it forwards, we're squishing it, holding it in place. So nice, good pull. This is starting the snowblower, starting the lawnmower. I'm looking forward to that part. Good, about 12 more seconds and we're gonna switch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it up, switch feet. I'm gonna turn just so you guys can see. So again, nice and tall, squish the ball in that hip crease, up and down. So what helps is a lot of times we think up and straight up and down, and you can do that, but if you're really upright and you're doing straight up and down, again, look what's happening to my shoulder. We don't want to pop our shoulder forwards, we want to open that chest. So think, these muscles are the ones that keep you up and open and prevent this. So nice and tall, squeeze that shoulder blade in towards your spine. If you're a little more upright, your angle is going to have to be just a little different. If you're more over, you're a little more up and down. This is where physics comes in. Good, bring it up. Set the weight down. All right, grab a drink. I'm gonna switch my students. So, next exercise. On the bench or off, your choice. So, off the bench. Left leg is gonna be down, right leg is right. Your heel is right at your toe. You're gonna do a single leg squat, okay? This is if you don't have a bench. If you have a bench and you can adjust it, the lower, the better, the easier. This one's a balance drill and it's tricky. So listen to your body, hold on if you need to. Nice and tall, pull that heel up, sit back. Tap the heel to the floor, come up again. Down and up. So down and up. Don't push the knee forward and do it, sit back. Yes? All right, 45 seconds. Your time is on. So I'm gonna do this one for a bit. So it's just a single leg squat. Now both feet can be flat if they need to be for balance. So option 1, both feet can be flat. The back leg is the one that's doing the work. Your front toe can be up, a little bit harder, a little more of a balance challenge. But you're just sitting back into that chair. You're making one leg work a little harder than the other. Your other option, you're still sitting back into that chair, but you're tapping the heel to the floor. This is a balance drill in addition to a leg exercise. The higher the bench, the harder this is going to be. One more. Good. All right, shake it out. We're gonna do the other side. So whatever you did the first time, do the second time. So again, you can just have your feet flat. Here we go, sitting back. So now this leg, whatever one is in back, is doing 90% of the work. This is your supporting leg. It's just there to encourage the other one. So sitting back and up. Toe can come up if you want it to. Good. And then again, your third option is your wonderful little sit. Now, really important on this one, we have a tendency to want to put our foot forwards or to put our foot back. If going back is what keeps your good position, go ahead, but we're barely tapping it. We sit and we come back up again. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Tricep kickbacks, both arms. Both arms. Good. So I'm doing this position, kicking back. You can always do one foot up, and that's fine. I went a little heavy today, so if I start getting tired, I'm going to start alternating. Yes. Now you can be a little more upright, but that just means that your elbow is going to be pointing a little farther back, but we still want to make sure that we're not hunkering that shoulder way forwards. Down and back in your back pocket, whatever you pick. You have 5 more seconds, and we're going to go back to those single leg squats. 2 and 1. Good. Set it down. Option to add a weight. If you're on the floor, this could be a good one to do. Yeah? Here we go. So down and up. If you want to focus on your balance and your foot is on the bench, the weight is optional. I want you to get the most effective exercise for you. So that means if you have to spend half of your time maintaining your balance, go ahead and regress a little bit. It's not a bad thing. Good. You have about 15 more seconds left. So this one is checking your ankle stability and your mobility, your balance, and a little bit of leg strength. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Switch sides. So again, whatever you picked, both feet can be flat. We sit down and up. So back leg works, front leg is your supporting leg, your supporting actor or actress. Sitting back. After this, we've got our triceps. Last time. Then we've got another round. Ooh, feeling a little wobbly in that left leg. So we're getting a lot of glute in this one as well, especially that outer glute into your hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Shake it out. Grab those weights for kickbacks, whatever you pick. I can definitely tell it's warming up outside. I'm sweating today. Whew. All right, bring it up. Arms are up. Kicking back. Again, back, in. This is our goofy bicep curl. So instead of working the biceps on the front, we want to work the triceps on the back. So it's gravity. If we're doing this, it's biceps because we're lifting the weight against gravity. But if we lean forward, when that arm goes back, that weight is getting lifted away from the ground. We're getting our gravity work. 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome. Set it down, grab a drink. Next exercise, so we're going to do side leg lifts. Side leg lifts. So standing on the floor or, you guessed it, on the bench. Side leg lifts right, side leg lifts left, and then we're going to do straight arm press backs. So, as always, option 1, out and in. Just out and in. Option 2, nice and tall, out and in. Whatever leg you're standing on does not do this, and it does not do this. Center it up. 45 seconds, your time is on. So out and in. Now you always have the option to channel your inner ballerina. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. We're working the leg we're standing on just as much as we're working the other leg. Now for this exercise, if you want to do this on your own and you don't have a bench, you can stand on a yoga block. Just make sure that it's secure and your whole foot is on the yoga block, or you can do this standing on a staircase. But again, we don't want to let the hips sag and we don't want to let the knees soften. We're kind of locked out a little bit. We're stacking our hip over our knee, over our ankle. We're still tall. Good, let's switch, other side. So same thing. This hip, don't let it turn out. Your time is on. So you're leading with the side of the foot. You're very tall. I like this one. I learned this one from Rebecca. I really like this one. I really like it because it really focuses you on keeping this leg nice and steady. So this leg is working just as hard, if not harder than this one, because this is the one that's stabilizing your body. So again, make sure we're not letting that hip sag. Pull it in. Push that floor away. Staying tall. My bench is not flat. It's kind of old, so it's not flat. It's a little dipped. Good. Shake it out. Straight arm press backs. Lightweight, light to medium. Or no weight. Those are okay too. So again, forward fold, press back and in. This is a good one to do even if you don't have weights. You think about a nice good squeeze. The only thing moving is your arms from your shoulders down. This is the reverse, the opposite of a front raise. So imagine how you do a front raise and keep going and go back instead of up. So nice and tall. Even if you have to stay more upright, you got it. 7 more seconds, and we're gonna do our side leg lifts. 2 and 1. Good, set it down. All right, side leg lifts, round 2. For this one, you don't need to add any extra weight. So you're up, you're nice and tall, and we're gonna lift. So hold on to a table or a chair or a wall. You're good. This is a good one if you've got a countertop in front of you. You can hold on to that countertop as well. But you don't want a death grip your countertop. You just want to do a little lift. And again, you can add this if you want to get a little more. So this is your workout. Good, 10 more seconds and we're gonna switch. Check in with the standing leg. See how you're doing. 2 and 1, good, shake it out. Over to the other side. So pick which one you wanna do. We're gonna bring it up. Time is on, out and in. So on the leg that's moving, I think about pulling my toe up towards my knee. So instead of just letting it drop out to the side, I pull my toe up towards my knee and I try to lead with my heel. I want to feel it right in here. I don't want to feel it in the groin. And I don't want to feel it back here. Right in the side of your butt, outer thigh. So right in that, your abductors. Oh, and I was letting my other leg get lazy. Good, shake it out. Straight arm press backs. So remember, you can do this one with no weight and it's still gonna be a good workout. All right, your time is on. So a little fold. So this is the same thing that we do when you're lying on your tummy and your arms are down by your hips. I've had you all do this laying on your tummy. And that was the one exercise when I did therapy, I could never, ever, ever make it to 50. If I made it to 40, I was having an awesome day. Never made it to 50 out of all of the exercises I did, which tells you how tough it is. No weights, and I can't make it to 50 reps. But it's a really good exercise and one we should do. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it up, shake it out, grab a drink. So we're gonna head down to the floor, but remember, if you don't want to go to the floor, you don't have to. You always have that option. So we're going to do push-ups. You can do incline push-ups on the bench, or you can do your chest presses. So if you've got weights, you can do chest presses instead of push-ups. If you're gonna stay upright, you're gonna do your push-ups against a wall table or a chair. Or if you've got a band, I showed some of you how to do a band chest press. We're gonna do mountain climbers, and we're gonna do side planks. So again, you can do all of those against a wall, a table, or a chair if you wanna stay upright. So we're going to head over, and those are our exercises. So I'm gonna be up and down a lot. Don't be surprised. But I have a headset today, so you don't have to keep an eye on me the whole time. So we're gonna start with either push-ups or chest presses, whichever ones you wanna do. It's up to you. So in 3, 2, and 1, your time is on. Now, if you've got one of those really, really itty-bitty step benches where there's barely enough room for your hands to fit, I would just do them on the floor, or I would do the chest presses. So if you're doing the chest press, your band is gonna be behind you because you have to do that push-up motion. So if you're doing a banded chest press, this is what you're gonna do. Your band is behind you. It's kind of hard to see. This is your banded chest press. Yep. Or you can do the chest press lying on the floor on your back, and it's perfect, right? Yes, yes. Or your lovely push-ups. So many options. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Mountain climbers on the floor, on your bench, wall table, or chair, knee in. You can even be on your elbows if you need to. Your time is on. So I'm gonna come over to my post over here. I'm holding a good plank and doing my knees up. So we're doing our mountain climbers against a wall table, chair, on the floor, you name it. So we're doing our mountain climbers, knees coming up, holding that plank position. Good, good, good. These are kind of long, and it's a lot of plank stuff today, so rest when you need to. You have 10 more seconds, and we're gonna do a side plank on one side, and then we're going to rest, and then we're going to repeat, and we'll do the plank on the other side. Good. All right, we're gonna come back to our push-ups or our chest presses. You decide what you wanna do. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So now we're doing our push-ups or our chest presses. So I'm doing wall push-ups. I'm keeping my elbows close to my body. So we don't want to let our elbows go out to our side. So a really great description that I saw is you don't want to look like the letter T. You want to look like an arrow. So an arrow, you have the point, and then it comes down to your elbows. You want to look like an arrow, not a letter T. Does that make sense? So we want that arrow position. We want that triangle from our head to our elbows. 8 more seconds, and then we're going to do our mountain climbers. And if you need to do something different, you can always do dead bugs. So let's go ahead and take it to our mountain climbers. If you need to stay upright, knock yourself out, not literally. And we do our mountain climbers. Your time is on. So mountain climbers up, mountain climbers on your bench. Gives you an incline, makes it a little easier, but also a little harder than doing them on a table. Or you can flip over onto your back and you can do dead bugs. It works. We're working on that core stability, so do what feels best. Now, if you're doing them on the bench, you want to make sure your shoulders are staying over your wrists, because if you let them go too far out, you're going to start pushing that bench across the floor. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Side planks. Side plank, side plank. And I was a goober, so side plank on one side and then we'll do side plank on the other side. I just realized that I totally screwed that up. So side planks. This is what we're doing. We're holding a side plank. Apparently I don't know the difference between side planks and stuff anymore. We've got to have at least one glitch every class, right? Yeah, that's how it works. I'm gonna do side plank on the floor. So this is on the floor. I just realized, I'm like, why do we have 2 things left? Because I said we were gonna do side plank and we didn't. I made you do push-ups. That's okay, we're gonna get everything. We'll get it in. So 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Side plank on the other side. I promise I know my exercises, you guys. I promise. Some days you might question my thought process. Sometimes I don't have a thought process, I think. So if this is a little bit of a struggle for you, it's okay. You can always do your dead fish, where you just try to do a little side crunch. So this is another option if you're on the floor and your side planks are kind of a struggle today. Otherwise, shoulder over wrist, shoulder in your back pocket. Sometimes grabbing your shoulder and pulling it down helps with that thought process of pulling that shoulder down. You have 10 more seconds. We're going for 45, which is longer than we normally do. And I'm just talking a lot because it distracts you from how long you have left. 2, 1, good. Bring it down, shake it out. Circle those wrists. Ha ha ha. All right. We have one more round. We're just going to do it each exercise one time. We have 45 seconds of bridges, 45 seconds of crunches, and 45 seconds of reverse crunches, okay? I'm going to do these. I'm going to do bridges with my feet on the bench, and then I'm going to do the crunches and the reverse crunches sitting on the bench as an option so that I can show the people that are sitting in a chair what they do. So for bridges, feet can be on the floor or they can be on the bench. If you are staying upright, you can do chair stands, you can do squats, or you can do like a wood chop, and we just do those little hip hinges. In 3, 2, 1, your time is on. So we're just gonna lift and lower the glutes. So feet can be on the bench or they can be on the floor, and you're perfectly good. You can lift and hold if you would like to. I like doing a lift and lower. And we want to try to get our glutes to do the work. We want to try not to rely on our hamstrings. So sometimes we wind up pulling our glutes towards pulling our heels towards our glutes, and we wind up activating those hamstrings a lot. We want to try to relax our hamstrings and just use our glutes to lift ourselves up. You have 5 more seconds, and we're going to go to crunches. And your feet can stay on the bench if you want. So crunches, you reach up and you bring it down, and reach up and down. I'm going to sit on the bench. Your time is on. So if you're sitting in a chair, you're going to sit towards the front, and you're just going to lean back and sit forwards. This is also an option if you're on the floor and you don't want to do crunches lying on your back. So we want to stay tall, and we want to fold and unfold. We want to make sure that we're not leaning back and rounding and arching our spine. Our chest is open, our shoulders stay over our hips. 10 more seconds. And then we're going to do reverse crunches. 3, 2, 1. Reverse crunches. If you're sitting in a chair, you're just going to bring both knees up. This is also an option if you're on the bench. Yes, yes. If you're on the floor, it's a pelvic tuck and a release. So your time is on. So for this one, if you're on the floor like I am, you don't want it to be a bridge. You want to leave your glutes out of it. It's almost like somebody just punched you in the stomach, and you round your low back into the floor, and then you relax it a little bit. Next option is you can also add a little bit of a tuck. Two and 1. Good. Just lie back and relax. Nice deep breaths. We're just doing that round once because it's already about 40 after, so. All right, knees bent, feet flat, arms out to the side, palms facing up, and we're just gonna rotate the hips side to side. Now, as we rotate the legs to the right, the left arm rotates palm down, and then we switch. We rotate the knees to the left, and the right hand rotates palm down. Now, if you're staying upright, you're just going to do a little turn side to side. So you're just going to rotate your torso to the right, then rotate your torso to the left if you're sitting. Here's 2 and 1. Good. Back into the center. Take the right leg straight. Pull the left knee into the chest, grabbing behind the thigh. Good. We're going to relax that leg just a little bit, and we're going to grab the knee and we're going to bring it across the body, keeping the opposite arm out to the side. Good. Bring it back into the center. Take that leg straight, pull the other leg into the chest. Let's bring that leg across the body. Good, bring it back into the center. You're gonna hug both knees into the chest. If you would like to lift your upper body off the floor as well, you may, but it is not a requirement. Good, let's roll over onto hands and knees. So hands on the floor, knees are wide, toes pointing. We're going to inhale, gentle arch of the back. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, hold the tuck, sit your hips back to your heels, feeling a stretch from your neck all the way down to your hips. Good, one more time, bring it back up, lift the chest, gentle arch of the back, tuck the pelvis as you exhale, squeeze the glutes, and sit back. Good, and we're going to bring it up into half kneeling. So if you need to come up to a standing position or a seated position, please do. But take your time, give yourself a little bit of a moment for the blood to go where it's supposed to. Tuck your pelvis, keep that pelvis tucked, little gentle push with the knee, stretching the hip, and we're going to add in a little side bend. Good, bring it back up. We're gonna do the other side. So again, tuck the pelvis, little push forwards. So what we wanna do with this one is we wanna make sure that we're not leaving it and leaning forwards, or that we're not letting that hip flexor pull the back of your pelvis forwards. So tuck, push, little side bend. Good, let's bring it up, come up to standing. Keep those ribs tucked, nice deep breath. And if you need to stay sitting down on the floor for a little bit, you can, it's fine. Good, relax the shoulders, bring it in, hands to the shoulders, walk your fingers back. Good. right. Bring it down, shoulders away from the ears. Tilt your head, opposite arm, open and close the fingers. Good, other side, ear to shoulder, opposite arm, and reach. Good, bring it up, big breath in and out. One more time, big breath and out. All right, you're all done.